And Coach, great shooting performance over there at Lamar. How do you think it will transition for Saturday's game?
I hope it does transition, right? Hopefully it gives our guys some confidence. I think I said immediately in the post game where, we're certainly not a 56% from three shooting team, but we're also not as poor of a shooting team as we've shown the past few games. So I think the answer is somewhere in between, and I think over the course of the season, like those numbers will level off a little bit, and we'll get into a groove. I think more importantly than anything right now at this stage of the year is like the consistency of manufacturing good shots, manufacturing great shots, fighting for great shots for our teammates. That's the most important focus for us. Makes, misses, those things, will ebb and flow a little bit. But I think we have some really good shooters on our team, and I think by and large we're going to make a lot of shots. So the greater focus for myself and the staff and our players is really just getting great shots and making sure that we're continuing to share the basketball and work for something awesome in the possession.
And then last one of my end, Coach. Obviously, you have preached previously that you want this team to be play a physical style and also be mentally tough. Like, have you seen improvement throughout since UT Arlington to Lamar until now? Have you seen an overall improvement?
Yes, sometimes it's not as fast as you would like, right? And it's not immediate, and it's not an overnight just transformation. But I think there's been incremental but significant progress in those departments that you mentioned as far as mental toughness, physicality, discipline since the Missouri State game. I think from Missouri State to Illinois and so on and so forth. I think we've taken a significant step forward in those very, very important departments to myself personally and to this program. And I thought Lamar was a pretty good culmination of most of that. You know what I mean? I thought the guys came out with tremendous energy and focus. I thought they showed great mental toughness for sustaining that. I thought they showed great mental toughness in sustaining a run on the road with a really good team. And I thought they made the plays down the stretch that required discipline and focus, and that's a step forward, right? We haven't always shown that. So for us to take a double-digit lead into the second half, we've done that before, and we've unfortunately lost the game. So for us to continue to play well for the duration of 40 minutes, it wasn't always perfect, it wasn't always pretty, but I thought the guys did what they needed to do to win, and there's still a lot to grow from, there's still a lot to work on, but I thought it was a great sign of progress.
You have 5 in a row here at home now. You traveled a lot here in the first month and a half. Thoughts on being able to stay home for a little bit?
It's great, it's almost awkward, you know what I mean? Like you get used to in a hurry going on the road and traveling and not sleeping in your own bed and planning travel and all that kind of stuff and planning kind of what that process looks like as far as your game prep and shoot arounds and all that kind of stuff. So that's been that's been far more second nature than playing at home. So our guys got to get used to that process of staying at home and shooting our game day shoot arounds and day before practice without travel and all that kind of stuff. But that's a good problem to have right now. I'm excited about the opportunity to play in front of our home fans for an extended stretch. But now it's really good teams, right? Whether it's on the road, whether it's at home, it's all really good teams and really well coached and talented programs within our conference, and they're all must wins. And we're fortunate to get to start on the right foot with the homestand.
Marvin on the verge of 1,000 career points. I think he needs just one. How big is that for him, as he wraps up his collegiate career?
I think it's awesome. I think anytime you can have little milestones like that, significant individual milestones like that, I think that just speaks to the longevity of his career and his sustained success. And he's somebody that spent a significant amount of time at Cal State Bakersfield after staying at one junior college. So for him to come to this new environment was just that. It was new, and there was a learning curve, and there was so much that he had to get acclimated to. And I think he's done a fantastic job of really committing and diving in with 2 feet and learning all the nuances of what we do. And I think it's just rewards for him, the 1,000-point milestone. And I think he's proven himself to be a high-level scorer and a high-level shooter. And I hope it's a springboard for him moving forward.
And what's it going to take to find some success against the College of Biblical Studies on Saturday?
I think really leaning into the concept of being us, and not just us and going through the motions, but being a great version of us and being an improved version of us, right? You asked the question earlier about the market improvement from game to game to game. That doesn't stop for College of Biblical Studies. We need to be better against CBS than we were against Lamar. That's the goal. That's the focus. It's the process and the lead up to that, and then just continuing to fight for improvement, man, within the game, with our prep, everything that matters, man. It's just about getting better and being the best version of ourselves, so we can go into this Christmas break with some true momentum and some true growth and progress, and just continuing to lay building blocks to grow from there.
And just one question for me, unrelated to the game really. Yesterday you went to Driscoll's Children's Hospital. How was that event, that experience?
it's great. You know what I mean? It's really, really difficult, and but it's an awesome chance and opportunity for our guys to see what hard really looks like. You know what I mean? And what adversity really looks like, and young people that are fighting through some significant ailments. We did it last year as well. We were fortunate enough to do it again this year. It was something that was very important to me to get on the books again this year, and I just think, young people, whether they're making money in NIL, whether they just get the online adulation of being a Division I athlete, whether they get the adulation from their peers around campus for being Division I athletes, I think to see what hard looks like, to see what struggle looks like, to see people overcoming is a fantastic reminder for what this is really all about. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a cool chance for our program, and it's something I hope to do, frankly, far more often.